Hello everyone. So as I was looking for my screwdrivers, I realized that the hammer also kind of looks like a crochet hook. So, I mean, obviously we're going to have to try. I mean, this part looks like a crochet hook, but what I didn't realize was that this part is also kind of a hook. So we're going to try it with both and see how that turns out. Crochet hooks aren't typically that heavy either. At least not where the hook part is, but we'll give it a shot. I guess if I want this to work, I can't have it be too loose. Not too loose, too tight. I think my mind just went like 1984, where it's like groupthink. We don't need a word for both hot and cold. We just need cold and not cold. You want as little words as possible to explain what's going on, which is not a theory that the English language has subscribed to at all, because we know so many words. There are so many words that people don't even, that like native speakers like me don't even know the meanings to. And we come across new words and it's like, huh, what do you think about that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess one more. Yeah, I hope that's the front. Like there's a point where it gets too loose and it's like, I'm not even sure where the front or back is anymore. Okay. You know, I thought this part was going to be a hindrance, but it might actually prove to be helpful. We'll see. Anyway, we did that chain, so now we go to the second chain from the hook. And yeah, I still ended up pulling it a bit tight, but look at that. Thing of beauty. Right, and then pull that through both of it, and somehow that worked. Okay. You know, I declawed myself a couple hours ago because they're getting really long. But now I kind of wish I had my claws back. Does anyone else get that way where it's like your nails are super long and you're just so distracted by how long they are, you just find yourself staring at them? Sometimes it happens to me while I'm driving and then the light changes, and I know because my head is down when that happens, it looks like I'm on my phone, but it's like, no, my phone is like out of sight, out of mind. Wait, did I just lose that? Yeah. My phone is out of sight, out of mind. I'm just naturally distracted, people. The particular way that my nail is curving at this moment in time is very distracting. Anyway, that's why my nails are usually pretty short. Wait, did I just... Yeah, I just spun around, man. Like I said, I'm a very distracted person. I'm definitely holding this very differently from a regular crochet hook. Oh, yeah, we don't want to crochet with that. That is the tail. We want the feeder yarn. There we go. And that's one row. Almost feels like I'm holding a pipe when I'm holding it like this. Like maybe more like the Sean Connery with. I just need like some sort of class, and then I'm like Sean Connery. Is that the James Bond villain that has that pose? I don't know. Oh wait, no, no, this fell off the hook. Guess you kind of wrap it around and then wrap it this way, and then it goes through all of it. I hope I did that right. Oh, I did not do that stitch right. Well, I'm not taking it out. I don't feel like taking it out. We're going to take it all out again later anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There are many parts of my life where I'm afraid of making a mistake. Yarn isn't one of them. I'm relatively fearless when it comes to yarn. Simply because, like, if I make a mistake with yarn, no one's, like, going to get, like, super upset with me. Like, no one's going to start yelling at me, "Oh my gosh, Becky, you did this purl the wrong way. How dare you?" You do that while driving, on the other hand, and, well, the stakes are higher there. Probably was part of the reason why it took me so long to learn how to drive to begin with. There you go, that's the second row. Oh. Okay. Now we're holding it in a very different way. It's like when I'm changing the stitch, I'm changing how I hold the hammer. Later on, I'm going to finish watching the Beatles Get Back documentary. At this moment in time, I've only seen the first part of the 3 parts because then work happened. And, well, it's busy season at work. Like, I know on the days that I have worked, that work's pretty much going to be the only thing that happens that day. Oop. But, like, I remember, like, during the first part, there was this scene where the Beatles got into a big argument, and they were like, well, why don't you play one of your older songs to kind of just get back in the movement of making music? And you know what song they chose? Maxwell's Silver Hammer. Yes, we're trying to get back into getting along with each other. So let's sing a song about a serial killer who whacks people to their end by hitting them with a silver hammer. That's such a great idea. Somehow it worked, though. It's like at the beginning of the documentary, it's like there's going to be foul language, there's going to be smoking, there's going to be all these things. This is not as child-friendly as you think it's going to be. And as someone who studied the Beatles immensely during high school, it was like, well, duh. But, I guess it's not clear to other people. It's like, yeah, I kind of knew that's what was going to happen when I was going into it. Instead of using drugs in high school myself, I listened to the music of people who did drugs. There we go. That's the third row. Not bad, honestly. I seriously thought I was like afraid of the yarn going to get catching into this, and while it's not necessary, it actually made this better. Like, this would have been a lot looser than it is currently if I had just done the whole thing, like right here. I mean, I did only crochet in like either the front loop or the back loop. I didn't crochet in both loops, which was something that took me longer than I would care to admit to understand. When reading crochet patterns, it's like crochet in the back loop only. It's like that's how I crochet. I just only do it in the back loop. And then I forget what the breaking point was, but I saw like a pattern that showed how to crochet, and I was like, oh, I'm supposed to go under both of the loops. Okay. Anyway. That's that part. Now we're going to try... Hopefully that didn't wake my parents up. Okay. Now we're going to try this part right here, which is also a hook of some sort. That may end up being worse, but now I'm going to perform the magic trick of fanishly removing my crochet. Well, there's more yarn in it than my arm span. There you go. Ah. And now the yarn is everywhere. Okay. They roll that back up, only to be unrolled again. The skein is kind of used to it by now. Speaking of serial killers, I remember back when I was in New Orleans, one of the things I wanted to see was the Museum of Death, because I was really curious how they were going to pan that out. Because I do like hearing about other people's like death rituals, like how they, what's it called? Like how they cope with like losing another member of their society, and like the ideas of how they get through it. And they had no pictures in the museum, but they let me draw, which was pretty good. They were actually kind of thrilled about me being able to draw in there. Because I mean, that's part of the fun of museums. You go in and you draw you get motivated to draw something. Museum, there have been like a couple museums few and far between that's like, sorry, you can't draw. And it's like, well, why the hell are you open then? But they ended up, I didn't look at the like exhibit part of the website before going, because like you save that for actually going to the museum, right? You don't want to like go somewhere, go to a museum. It's like, let me discover it on my own terms. Well, it was like a small museum. They had like 2 rooms, and they had one of those rooms taken up, or I want to say about a third of the museum taken up by serial killers. And like kind of explaining, and that kind of creeped me out. It's like, I don't really find the psyche of a serial killer that exciting. Like, I've seen more than enough cop shows to know that I would probably be fine never seeing another cop show. Because the plot's all the same. Wow, somebody died. Let's find out who killed this person and why. And I know that's a lot of people's jams, but it's not my jam. In fact, it kind of freaks me out. It's like, can we not have the person die? Can we like watch TV without somebody dying every 30 minutes? But yeah, I remember like feeling somewhat ill leaving there. It's like something's off about this. I got my senses back after that by going to the going to one of the many Mardi Gras museums there. The one I went to that particular time was like I had a bunch of the Mardi Gras costumes on display, and I let you try on some costumes. Lady mentioned it in the New Orleans video because that was also on my list of going there. Huh. And that was a lot more fun. Alright, so something weird just happened here. So I guess I did the chain too tight for this to go through anyway. Like what yarn likes to do is it likes to like pull it likes to pull the stitch. If you pull loose on one stitch, it's going to make the next stitch tighter. Anyway, I did it enough times that I don't think I can physically get the hammer through the last stitch. So I'm now stuck with 4 stitches on the row when I wanted 5. C'est la vie. Anyway, we're just going to continue. It's just going to be a 4-stitched chain because I'm not going to force it, especially since when I declawed myself like this, I don't want to push the nails too far because I don't want to like force the nails to get to it's like I don't want to force new nail to form and then I lose some of like the non-cuttable part. Wow, the English language is really helping me today. Alright. Now it's a half double crochet. Oh yeah, you may have noticed that my hammer is pink. This hammer was part of a toolkit when I was younger that was aimed at girls. Yes, when I was like, I think it was a program intern was what the program was, what it was called. It's kind of like when you have staff members and you volunteer to give them experience before you hire them the next year and give them money. Most programs would just call that a CIT, a counselor in training, but the camp I was at called it something different. Anyway, they gave all of us that toolkit, and we were pretty thrilled with them, actually. And it's been a pretty handy toolkit this entire time. Even though it's pretty insane to market tools to girls like, oh my gosh, everything girls have to use needs to be pink. It is nice that like that was around. Like someone's like, oh yeah, we can still give them to you so that way you have something that can help you out. I think we ended up using those tools. I think I brought them to college with me actually, the first time around. I used them to fix my roommate's vacuum cleaner after I broke my roommate's vacuum cleaner. I was trying to be a nice roommate. I was going to vacuum the carpet to help keep the apartment clean, despite the fact that I'm kind of afraid of the loud. I do not appreciate the loud noises that vacuums make. I absolutely despise them, actually. But it's like, oh, let me help out. And well, she had her raincoat hanging there. One of the cords for the sash was hanging on the raincoat. And I turned the vacuum on, and the vacuum sucked up part of the raincoat. And, like, we tried all the things. I ended up having, like, take a screwdriver and unscrew it and, like, pull out the part. And, and then, like, put it back, like, pull out the part of the raincoat and then put it back in. Anyway, we tried a couple other things before doing that. So unfortunately, I had burnt part of the raincoat while doing this. And fortunately for me, the roommate whose coat I burnt and the roommate whose vacuum I broke was the same person. So I was only upsetting one person that day. But yeah, after that, she kept her raincoat in like one of those plastic sleeves where you like put a dress you don't want to get dusty or moth-eaten. So that way that wouldn't happen again. She was a relatively good sport about it, though. Wait, where's the last stitch here? Are we... I think it's here? Or... No, it's here. Okay. It is a lot easier to replicate a hammer if you don't have one than it is to replicate a screwdriver, though. There we go. This one obviously turned out a lot looser. It's almost like a fishnet at this point. So, I think we learned that if you're going to crochet with a hammer in the future, use this part. Don't use this part. This part, even with this part right here, produces a much better piece of crochet. Anyway, that was today's entertainment. Have a nice day.